welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I'm your host, Danica Foley Long. With me, we have the Mayor of Morgan City, Mayor Lee Dragna. How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
And we are technically at the end of the year, so we'll be going into January 2022. So that means you're going to be completing your first year as mayor. Let's do a reflection, and how do you feel about where you are right now within your term?
Well, I believe we're moving at a pretty good clip, pretty good rate right now. Me personally, I think I'm going slow, but it's the government, so you have to slow down in certain things. But we've accomplished quite a bit so far this year, and set up this year for next year, right? For the big bang next year, right?
Okay.
Especially with all this funding that's out there. We did not wait around. I know you had to hear that we hired a grant writer, and she has been writing every day.
Yeah.
We just got a thing in yesterday. I have to sign it when I get in. I think it's $32,000 or $20-something, $30,000 for the fire department for new extrication tools, totally free.
Awesome.
So she wrote the grant and got it.
Free money.
Free.
Now, and speaking of
It's
free
just
money,
there.
you have the housing grants and I think the business grants that are going on right now.
Correct. So our guy Wilton, who is running that program for us, has, I think, 19 businesses have already started participating. And I want to say it's about 12 or so houses, but there's a list, and he's having to vet the people for the list. So it's taking a little bit longer than the businesses.
And let's kind of expound on that for those folks
Right.
who are probably like, well, what is this program? Tell me a little bit about the program.
Well, it's according to the government, it's called weatherization. So if we have to pressure wash, most of it's soft wash, and caulk around windows, doors, or any issue spots, and then repaint the houses. That is one thing, and that's basically, according to the federal government, set to be working around low-income areas of the city. The business side of it is a 75-25 grant. The business has to pay 25%. The city pays 75% up to a $10,000 job. And that has no stipulations on who can get it or what. It's just you have to be able to supply you 25%.
Okay.
And a lot of people are taking advantage of it. So when, contractors are kind of scarce right this minute, but when it starts coming around, and I think at the beginning of the year, you'll start seeing businesses get fixed up. New signage, new lighting, new paint, new windows. I think it's going to be great for the community.
And you don't have to fall within a certain location within the city, right, for these business grants?
No, anywhere in the city limits, the physical city limits.
Okay, awesome. Now, of course, there's some other projects that we've talked about in the past, and they have yet to get started. But again, we're moving into the new year, and one of which is this pier and marina that's taking place at Lake and Parkway. So not in the actual park, but on the other side by the judges' stand. The pier, which would likely house businesses. You have retail businesses, outdoor entertainment areas, also restaurants. And then, of course, the marina, pretty much what you do see at Lake and Park, where boating vessels can hitch their tie up in that location. Where are we on that project?
Well, we have all the permits, every permit we need for Lake and Park, the pier, and/or the marina, which is in the same area. We already have those permits, DOTD, Wildlife and Fisheries, everybody involved, right? The Corps of Engineers. We started dumping concrete in that zone for the new marina, and I know we'll get to this later, but the steam plant has 1,800 tons of concrete that we have to take out, right? So we're going to repurpose it to create that marina with, and it's not enough, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
And we make a lot of concrete every day around here busting up roads, right? So I think it'll take us about a year or so to get that breakwater done, and then we can build behind it. Okay. But like I say, you got to set it up. You got to have the permits. You have to have the permission. You have to find the materials to do it with, So we're on our way with that. And we have drawings on that pier too.
Okay.
Already.
What's the price tag? And that'll be my last question before break.
Well, the pier is going to be broke down in about 6 sections at about $1.5 million a section.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
but it can go on. It can take years to build, but we have to get started somewhere, right? So we said the funding's in much smaller increments now, so we might as well just build it in smaller increments.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, but come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast with yours truly. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I am your host, Danica Foley Long. With me is Mayor Lee Dragna with the City of Morgan City. Let's go back again to, we talked about price tag. You mentioned about a 1.5, was it, or $1.1 million per section, which is about 6 sections, and that should take us to, I don't know, almost $8 million?
About $8 million.
Okay, and where, where are we getting the funds for that?
So the federal government has trillions and trillions of dollars that they're putting out. And what they did was they broke it down. They said, you can't have $8 million in one thing. But if you can fall under these stipulations, then we'll give you $1.5 million for each one, right? Okay. So our grant writer figured out how to, I'm not saying manipulate, but go under their rules, right?
Yeah.
So, but right now, that funding is not, those different, you saw the spreadsheet of how many different funds they have, and there's hundreds of billions of dollars in each one. Yeah. They just haven't funded that part yet because of, it's supposed to be at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So we're ready. We've got all our stuff, all our ducks in a row. We've been all year long been cranking out paperwork.
You're just ready to press submit, send.
Send,
Right.
So,
okay. And then of course we have this marina, and you're right. I don't want to get too far ahead, but the steam plant, you're using a lot of the concrete from that, and that's lots of concrete. How much is that going to be? I mean, and is that going to come out of, is the city funding that?
Yeah, so it doesn't cost us hardly anything because we repurpose it. We got to get rid of cement anyway. We just dump it in a hole, right? And we're making the breakwater out there. When it comes time to drop pilings and putting docks in, stuff like that, we'll just do it in sections, as our people have time to do it. I estimate it to be about $300,000 to do all of it because we're repurposing everything. The concrete's already in a dump truck. It's already got to go dump somewhere. We dump it right there, push it with our dozer when we have time. It's not costing us a lot of money, but it's a lot of revenue that it generates. A lot of revenue generation.
About, how many slots do you, think it would
We want to end up with about 125.
What? Wow.
Yeah. And some big ones for people with big camps that really want to go there. Now, the bigger the slot, the more you pay per month, right? Or per year. But there's a lot of people that want to get there, Now,
in comparison to the Lake End, how many slots are over there approximately on the water?
40.
Wow. So, and that's what I wanted to, in comparison, just to see, like 120 at Lake End Parkway. Wow.
At least at a minimum, at an absolute minimum. We could just keep going. Our permit brings us all the way to the trees, almost.
Okay.
So, but you remember, there's already a boat landing there. There's already a dock there. Yeah. There's already a place to park. A lot of these things are already there. We don't have to build any of that.
But these would be paid. You would have to pay for these
slots. But there's already docks there that you can go and tie your boat up to during the day, right? And we might put a few more on that side, on the land side of it. Yeah. But on the water side, by the breakwater we building, that's going to be you pay and you leave your equipment there. You plug your electricity, water, all that.
All right.
Just like the other marina, just much larger.
Yeah. Okay, so there are at least 2 demo projects, and one of which we've already talked about, and that's the steam plant. I think that was something, and tell me if I'm wrong or right. This was a project actually started under the former administration, right, to demo the steam plant?
No, the former administration had surplus the piece of the property, but never did anything with it. Okay. So when I came in, I'm in the shipyard business. I deal with scrap a lot. I noticed how high the scrap price was, so we put it out for bid to make them pay us instead of us pay them. Okay. So we get $400,000 for the scrap. We don't have to pay a dime. We get the whole $400,000. Yeah. Right.
What's going to go in that location?
Well, we're going to dedicate a piece of it to our electric department to where they can consolidate all their poles, their transformers, their wire, their building right now leaks. It's deplorable, right, at the barn. So they're going to get there, and we'll end up making another piece of our cemetery there too on the other side of it.
Like a mausoleum, you mean?
Mausoleums.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're taking another break. Time's going by so quickly. But come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. We have much more ground to cover. All right, welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I am your host, Danica Foley-Long. With me, we have Mayor Lee Dragna with the City of Morgan City. So far, we've talked about at least one demolition, and that was with the steam plant. I've passed by there actually just recently and saw that it's nearly gone. Like, it's almost down to the slab.
95%.
Yeah. So another project, didn't get an opportunity to go out and film it, but there have been a couple of projects going on with the fire department where they'll take, I guess, maybe abandoned places and get permission from the owners to go in and actually do a couple of fire drills and obstacles, and one of which was the pool, which is next to the Morgan City Auditorium. And it's so I feel like I'm not going to tell you the truth. I feel like I've been in the dark because I did not know the pool was not in operation, and it hasn't been in operation for maybe a few years.
Deplorable shape. It's been about 3 years since it's been operated. The roof's falling in, all the equipment's rotten. For the steel piping, all the pumps, they rotten. It costs $500,000 just to make it run, and we can't do it. It's got cracks in it, leaks. All the buildings are rotten, all the rafters are falling in. So that's the spot where we want to put a wellness center, some type of a wellness center, and we're in semi-negotiations with Oshner right now about what we want to put there, right, and how we're going to fund it. So we're going to jump ahead of that schedule. Like I said, you always got to be one step ahead of everything. So we're going to demo it. Well, when the fire department found out we were demoing it, they said, well, hold up a second. We want to go cut holes in it. We want to smoke it out. We want to do, they did rescue. They put like bodies in there, and well, not bodies.
I understand,
dummy bodies. And they went and rescue them with all that equipment in there. So they had to climb over things, under piping, to simulate being in a warehouse.
One man's trash is another man's treasure, you know?
Our fire department drills more than anybody I know, and that's what saves lives, right? So we have to get it out of there. All that cement, that's all going to Marina, right? It's all free.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of it, no matter what. But we need to fill that hole, and there's almost enough dirt there to do it with, to start packing for our next foundation of the next building we're going to build, or the next pool, right? So we have to be way ahead, or we're going to be a year behind. Yeah. And when it comes to dirt work, people that know dirt work, it just takes time to pack, to get tight, and to compact.
So you've already mentioned at least 2 or 3 projects going into the new year. What are you looking forward to? I mean, are you looking forward to getting this stuff going, completed? Well, I mean, that's
I don't think it's realistic to say that we're going to complete all these things next year.
Okay.
But I knew that if we didn't get ahead of the game right now, we'd be another year behind, right? But if we can get these things completed in 2 years' time, with the amount of, we're talking about, not only are we talking about $8 million here, another $8 million at a wellness center, a marina, but what about the $12 million worth of water and sewer that we've already got past the first stage with the funding with? A lot of people don't know this. We took a lot of our money from the ARPA funds and we matched, and we went 1% above everybody else, so we jumped the list, right? And we already passed through the first initial phase of them looking at all our stuff. So at the beginning of the year, we're gonna see exactly how much we get. So not only is it you have all these other millions of dollars, we got to worry about fixing our pipe, our water, our sewer, and some of our drainage in that same year's time. Yeah. Or 2 years. I don't think we can spend $30 or $40 million in 1 year. Yeah. On projects. I think it's going to take a couple of years.
So I mean, that would take you probably to your year 3.
Yeah.
Within
basically.
So do you think you'll be able to get all these things done within 4 years' time?
Most definitely. Okay. Yeah. We're not going to stop until they're done.
All right.
Now we're just going to keep coming up with more things, right?
Right. I mean,
so if we come up with too many, we're not going to get the 4 with them. But I mean, in this is a new water plant, you know, a new filtration system, and you know, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's millions on top of millions of dollars that's already funded.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I got a couple other things I want to talk to you about, and I'll just give you guys a hint. It's the Christmas season. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on during the Christmas season. Come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danica Foley, and I mentioned, as promised, let's talk about the Christmas season. And there are a couple of things people have asked, and I try to monitor some of these pages and, you know, kind of see what the folks are talking about in the community. And while every year, this is annual, we've had the lighting of the Christmas display on Brashear Avenue, always a big draw, had a lot of families out there. But one of the things I think is missing, and I think folks have asked about, a Christmas parade. I think pretty much all around us we have in Patterson, maybe I know Franklin. I'm not sure if Berwick has had a Christmas parade, but people, I think they're wanting a Christmas parade. Is that something that's ever been on your radar since, I know, again, you've just got into office, but, you know, is that something that you've thought about?
You know, when I was a kid, they had one every year, right? It was a very short parade. It would go from like Olmsted Street down 2nd Street, go around the park, and basically in, right? And I haven't seen it in years. I mean, I don't remember how long it's been. It's been probably 10 years at least since it's been there, but we want to do it. So I've dedicated a person at the city, starting at the beginning of the year, we're starting now for the beginning of the year, that we're going to have something planned for every holiday, around that holiday, right? Or a time of a year or something. I can't plan everything and run it and do everything myself. And that person we're going to have a Christmas parade. Okay. And there was some talk, you talked about having little neighborhood parades. Maybe do that too, you know? Like at night, have one here and there, and then one day everybody gets together for one Christmas parade. Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, Snowman, we're going to get them all. Yeah. You know, right? Elves, everything.
Maybe even a Christmas decorating contest?
I think we should bring that back.
I think so.
They used to do that.
Yeah.
I think we should bring it back.
And that's been since my time, since I've been here, I believe.
You know, so the city tried to push forward with Christmas decorations. Like I know you saw we brought Santa Claus and the reindeer, and we took them out of storage. Yeah. We refixed them up as much as we could, and we put them in Lakeside, and people loved it, right? So now we pull all the wreaths out. We put new bulbs in them. We just got the bulbs, so it's too late to put them up. But we're gonna start putting things all over town in different neighborhoods, right? Or wherever we can. Right. Maybe on Railroad Avenue, maybe Wyandotte area, maybe by the high school somewhere right there by the water tower. The different areas, something every year, put something out.
And I think also too, I mean, it kind of builds on, let's say, and your brother in particular, he was on the show, Friends of Morgan City, and they actually put up a new Christmas display right on the wharf, on the water, and we didn't have our ribbon cutting. I was wondering about the ribbon cutting, but I do see, as I'm driving across the bridge, I do see there are a couple of people that are out there taking photos. They're enjoying the display, but as I understand it, your brother kind of had an emergency and had to kind of leave, right?
He had to leave for work. You know, he does a lot of work for the government. He had to leave in a fast fashion. So when he gets back, he guaranteed me that he finally figured out the storage of all the different things that are going to be on it. So it'll stay up every day, all year round. This is the most industrial version of this you can buy, kind of like you see in Las Vegas on the buildings and stuff. And every time of the year, we're going to put something different all the time, flashing on there, you know. So, and look, this is all done volunteers, right? So we can't really like harp on them too bad, you know. And it took us forever to get it in. I know it's not right now for Christmas, but it will be.
It sounds like folks are maybe enjoying it. I mean,
it's better than nothing. And they over there for the Christmas tree, which those ladies on Front Street decorate that thing is beautiful, right? I've never seen so many people take pictures with a Christmas tree. Yeah. Now they've got the Grinch, See that?
Yeah.
There's a line around the corner for the Grinch.
It's a free backdrop for folks. I want to get to this because I know our time is just winding down, going so fast. H&B Young Foundation, which has kind of just been, I mean, they've been around for so long, and they've helped out the city and obviously other projects and organizations. There's a couple of projects that's on the books that they're going to be helping out with the city, and I got the list: petting zoo, library, beautification, bathroom at Complex Park, and then of course handicap ramp and auditorium. How did they get involved with that? I mean, was it something that the city said we need some extra funding, or did they come to you?
Sure. What they ask us every year is they say, hey, what projects do you want to do? So myself and Charlie Solar, we gave them these projects. You know?
Okay.
The city plans on astroturfing the 2 baseball fields pretty soon. So they said they'll put up a new bathroom for us.
Okay.
You know, awesome. So these ramps and stuff, you need them. We got to have them.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. See you guys next time.